Good morning, Victor. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing good.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Musa. How are you? Hello.
Yeah, I'm doing fine too. I'm doing good.
Okay. Mr. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Bayemi. Good morning, Fumishi. I hope I'm pronouncing you guys' name very well. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, I'm cool. Thank you so much. I think Mr. David is going to join us any moment from now.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. So, how did our week go? Like, how was the assignment? Are we able to design the photo
I've
grid?
not done that assignment for the design part. Honestly, let me be sincere. Like, though I've not even started. Let me just be honest. I've not started yet. Two reasons.
What about you, Mr. Daniel?
Because I'm feeling scared of starting or something.
Well, I've started, but I haven't finished. So because I have to run that alongside with some work. I was quite swamped with a lot of work this week, so I couldn't.
Yeah, same here. It is very busy week for me also. Work related stuffs, church, and so many stuffs. It is well.
It's real, like it's real.
What about Opeyemi Olatunji? And Fumishe. Is Fumishe there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Okay. Have you been able to solve the? Have you done your assignment?
No, to be candid, I've not been able. Like, last week I wasn't having much power on my system and on my phone, so I couldn't. But I plan doing it today.
Okay, because Mr. David is going to be joining us any moment from now. What are we going to tell him now? I've not done mine too.
I don't know.
And because okay, hello,
Okay,
someone is saying something.
I'll try and see if we can do it today, Sha.
Okay, and that's good. Most of us we want to do that today, but our tutor will be here now, and he's going to ask for the assignment. And if every single one of us said we've not done it, but we are planning to do it today, what kind of signal is he going to send to him? I don't know. So, what do you think we should do?
Very soft
See,
question.
for me, what I would want to advise just we can plead for them to further shift the for us just for this week though, maybe for the upcoming ones, we can really try to meet up with that. I think the first one they asked us to do, I did that and I submitted that. This one I started, but I didn't complete it. I couldn't complete it, so I just. So we can just plead for.
Ask for a station, yeah, and promise not to repeat the same thing again. And sincerely, I just have to be sincere with everyone there. I'm just starting with web development as a whole, like HTML. I'm just getting to familiarize myself with it. So it's kind of difficult. Thank God Mr. Joseph was able to take us during the week, I think on Thursday, for HTML and basic HTML and CSS, and it was very, very good. I was able to grab some concept and foundational knowledge. I just pray, I will catch up. I will definitely catch up with you guys as times goes on. Make sure they pray for me.
Nobody's catching up with anybody. Now we won't catch up.
No. Mr. Daniel, you are a web developer yourself now. Musa,
No,
please
no,
show me another book.
I'm not a web developer.
Yeah.
I work
I'm just
on.
like I'm not so good like that to like I'm just like just
Okay.
trying. Let me just, I'm just trying my best. Like
Okay.
I mean, why
Okay.
I've not done this assignment civically? Like seeing what they're asking me, just they fear me for face. Like
Kai, so
I
sorry.
just have to overcome that fear. That's just what I do.
You will,
I
oh,
just have
please
to.
do, oh, please do. It's important we do. Well done. It's okay. It's okay. So, what about the challenge? Like, Twicher sent us a mail that we should do some certain stuff, some fun stuff like that. We should talk about our experience so far in the program. Did anyone do that? Mr. Daniel, were you able to do the challenge?
So basically, I saw the mail, but on my own end, I have a question because I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram and on Twitter. I think I've not been there since the ban in Nigeria. So I was really a bit, confused on what to do about that. And
Yeah, you
considering,
should have just reached out. You should have reached out.
yeah, so my Instagram, if I thought, I think I had an account, but I think it's just one follower because I'm not a social media person.
Person, okay, okay.
So,
You can still participate in the Instagram. You can still do for the Instagram. You don't have to do
okay,
for Twitter. Just any of the platform. Just
okay.
make sure
I
you
think
just do
I
it.
think I'll do that for the Instagram.
Oh, okay, okay. You can still do that today. We still have to the grace of today.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
uh,
There's a dead. Okay,
yeah, the deadline is today. Yes, yes,
that's before the end of today, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So
so
basically, we are just supposed to, take a screenshot or okay. I'll just go through
Yes,
the thing again and just.
yes, and just maybe few lines about your experience so far with the program, and add some. I think two hashtag. One is Twitter, the other one is Twitter Accelerate, and that's all.
Okay, okay,
or
okay. That's not a problem. I'll do that.
Okay. What about Mr. Musa? Were you able to do the challenge?
yeah, I actually started, but I've not completed it yet. But I'll
Please,
be fun.
boss, go complete that. Boss, go complete that, please. Mr. Tumiche, sorry, uh, Mr. Fumiche, were you able to do the challenge? Okay, I don't think he's here. Welcome, Mr. Taiwo Brown.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Is this your first time in any of the class?
It's my very first time attending. I was supposed to be part of your induction last week. I didn't take part. And I reached out over the week. I didn't get much of assistance. So this is my first time, and I am very new.
Oh, okay, sir. You're welcome, sir. So I'm not the facilitator. I'm not the tutor. I'm not the person taking also. I'm a student just like you too.
Man, you're just excusing yourself.
I mean, before they begin to say what be HTML, CSS, I don't know. You're welcome, Mr. Taiwo.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Olawale Mustafa. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Is this the first time? Yeah.
No, I attended the last class.
Okay, that's good. Have you been able to do your assignment?
No, I've not been able to, although I started something, but I went down with fever, so I couldn't continue.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And how are you feeling now?
Much better. I'm still on drugs.
So sorry. So sorry. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Miss Anoluapo, you are welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
How are you doing today, ma?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay. Have you been able to have you been able to do your assignment?
No, I could not do. My laptop is somehow, but
Sorry about your laptop.
and I missed the class last week. I don't really know how to operate that. So
The git.
amen.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about your laptop, but is your laptop working fine now?
It's on. It's on right now. So
Okay, that's good. Were you able to participate in the challenge, like the mail Twicher sent?
no, not yet. I'll do that.
Please do that today or do that today. Thank you. I think our host is here, Mr. Mr. Joseph. I don't know. Maybe it's Mr. Joseph. Good morning, sir. So, guys, let's just stay put. Maybe in some few minutes, Mr. David will join us, and we kick off with today's class. And let me just say this again. If you are yet to participate in the challenge, please do so. And you can send a screenshot to either me or to Mr. Musa. And also, let's try our possible best to make sure we attempt the assignment. It's very, very important for the progress, for our own personal progress and for the program itself. Thank you so much, everyone. And let's stay put. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. Sorry for the hold up.
Good morning, Mr. David. It's good to have you here again, sir.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I was a little bit busy today, and I'm going to be busy. We didn't plan today's also well. So I think to start with, we need to go over what was done last week. So did anybody hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, that's good. Did anybody here do the last week assignments, the write-up on the page and post to GitHub? Did anybody try it out?
For the write-up, I think majorly we did that. But for the coding, before you arrive, I've asked some of the people that are online if they were able to try out the design. But, we've not been able to do that, and then we promised to go over that today. Sorry about that, sir.
It's not. There's no sorry there. So because it's actually, I feel like it's more like for your good than mine. Like I'm not disappointed or anything. It's just if you do the assignments, especially the practical ones, then you will see problems that you will have to solve, and it's to make you better as developers on your own instead of coming to class. And then while you solve this, you might actually have questions that you would also ask during the lecture. That's just it.
Thank you, sir.
But in the absence of that, so this class wouldn't take so long today. I thought there was going to be another facilitator. I have like a gig that I have to be by 12. So let's just quickly go over some things. Let's continue from where we stopped last week. And does anybody have like any questions at all from last week's class, or some questions that you like, something that you've been having issues with?
Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Dave.
Yeah.
All right. So now, let me not say mine is a question. Mine is just that I just want to like hear from you. So now, I don't really have issues understanding HTML and CSS,
Okay.
but when it comes down to building projects, just like the assignment you give, now I looked at it a lot, and then at every point in time I wanted to start, I was like feeling so scared to start. And I didn't want to go to YouTube and look for videos that are similar and then start building it like that. So I just want to ask, will I still get better if I go to YouTube and look for videos that are similar and then build it? Will I say I did it myself or something? So that's what I just want to clear about.
I don't understand. So you want to go to YouTube and build along with them?
And then so like I'm going to look for similar projects that are just like the one you gave us on YouTube, even if not the same actually, but starting from the navigation bars to the body to the animations that are there. So I'm
okay.
like,
So I think maybe you are misunderstanding what exactly I gave you, right? We haven't gone like a long way. I saw somebody asking if it was supposed to be mobile responsive. No, I'm not expecting so much. What I expect is a bare minimum. In fact, what I gave you was too much. Maybe it made your expectations so high. I just need you to put a bunch of boxes on the screen with some images, a header and a footer. Footer is even optional. That's all. Just a grid. You understand? Something very simple just to show that you understand how HTML works, how CSS works, how you can do your layout. If you want to go to YouTube and follow along, it's also up to you. Of course, it will be better if you did it yourself, but it's actually not so bad because I also do follow along, just for learning sake. But yeah, that's it. You don't need to do it. Like it's not something that how should I put it? That's so complicated that you feel like it's overwhelming or something. If, for instance, you start and you're stopped, you can always reach out or I can see what is up with it. If it's not pretty, it's not supposed to be pretty anyway. So you don't need to put so much pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's just my own part. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry, just mm,
Please, let's ask a question, or if you have any question, please ask now before Mr. David continue.
So actually, I'm going to drop another link for you guys. It's also on HTML and CSS. We have done a lot of the things that they talk about here, but if you guys are still finding it hard, I suggest you go through it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
What disabled participants? Post disabled participants share my screen. Okay, so apparently I can't share my screen. Twicher supports. Okay, so today I wanted us to talk about floats, continue our talk on what do you call it, on Flexbox, and also talk about the CSS grid. We'll start responsive design. But before then, let me talk about the box model. Sorry, let me just get. Let me ask this guy.
Use brush wash am. It's normal. That's what they use the wash plate. That's what that's some sports. Watch the white plate in the stand.
Okay, so we talked about box model last week, but we're going to talk about it again. So the box model is basically the box that covers every HTML element, right? So, okay, let me share my screen. Sure. Yeah, if you can't see my screen, just let me know. So this is basically the box model. You have some content. If you imagine this as like a p tag, where you have some text, your text will be inside here. And like I said, immediately after your content, what you have is the padding, and the padding is the space inside the box. From the contents to the border, that is the padding. And then you have the border, which is basically the outlining of the box. Well, outlining is a bad word because there's also a CSS property called outline. But let me just use it for, let's just call it the outlining of the box. And then you have the margin, which is the space outside the box that you can define, because there's also this space, but it is not the margin. This is the margin because it was defined. You can define a margin, and it's the space it's outside a content. It can also be the space between two contents. So if there's another box here, and there will be some margin between it. You need to keep this in mind, because when you are styling a lot of things, like you have to think, this button, for instance, has a padding here and not a margin, right? So you use different things for different. This border, if you see, this border has a border radius, and what a border radius basically is used to define like some level of curvature that you want on your borders. And the border is the outline. Keep saying outline is the outer edges of your box. That's basically what box model is. But if you look through this, this is the link that I sent. It actually explains more into the box model. And while I'm on that, let's just look at one example of, there's something you should note. So I think it's called border box. Yeah? It's called box sizing, right? So let me start this. So we go with an example. Start from so, Yeah, that's it. This is where we stopped. So just to demonstrate some box model properties, let us create a new element. Create a div that is, or let's say we put the same tag from main. Example. So for box model, yes.
Okay, you were saying something about box sizing the other time, but
yes.
You did not finish your statement on that.
Okay, so box sizing allows you to include the margin and the border in the element's total width and height. So normally when you do put the margin, the padding and the border, it is different from the total width and height. You get, but if you add box sizing to it, then that fixes that issue. It's going to be best with an example. I think we should actually use 2 divs. Example 2. Example 2. So give it all the same styles, for example. And if you just put a comma, you can actually add multiple CSS styles. I mean, you can call multiple classes. So you could even call like some, what's that hash? Yeah. I'll call some other ID. So you can change this as much as you like. And then we'll just give them the same width, so 300 pixels. Give them border. I'll give them card. Oh, let's see, 10 pixels. And for example 2, so let's see what that does to our page. This, okay. So I just make this. We just need to do something really messy. Let's give it a padding. 0. Yeah, that should look better. Yeah, so you can see for this left example, for the first box 1, let me just leave it out there. For the box 1, it doesn't have a box sizing on it. So the default thing that the browser is going to do is it's going to take your width, it's going to take your height, and then take your padding and add all of that. So this has like, you can just inspect this. This like that has like extra 50 pixels added to it. If you check it, it's not the same. It's not a square anymore. It's supposed to be 300 by 300. Or it's not 362. Is it 300, I think? Oh yeah, plus the border adds 1 more pixels. So it's 2 pixels for the sides and then 30 for the padding. That's what makes it 362. But here, even though I have this, what do you call it? I've defined both the padding and the border. Since it has box sizing on it, it's just going to make everything the same width and height. It's not going to bother about adding those extra parameters to it. That's it for box sizing. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, no questions. Let us move on. So I just defined an element here main. I'm just trying to format my page. So let us create a photo grid. All right, it's going to be ugly, so bear with me. I'd like to do this across instead. Let's call this the grid. And yes, like I mentioned, even though this main doesn't have like a text content inside it, this div is the content of the main. And the main is also a box. Like this div is a box, this is a box. This too is regarded as a box. You can actually add like margins and paddings to your image tag also. The box model, like it affects every element, not every day, most elements on your page. So I want to do this. Let's just do this a margin of, let's say, just a pixel. Yeah. Let me just put this. Yeah. We'll align up left. Okay. think it already has some margin at the bottom already, but let me just define some margin for it. Just give it like it's so much, maybe so much too. So, and then we're going to, for this, I think we should make, I'm not going to be able to make the second grid with you guys. The first grid we'll make it with CSS, I'm sorry, with Flexbox. So I'm just going to put, this is the grid container. And usually when you deal with Flexbox, you have to remember to display Flex, right? And then we're just going to put some, will this work? Yeah, call this, let's call this Flexer. You should have that shortcut on VS Code automatically if you want to try it out. I don't. Just want to design some boxes for now. Yeah, that's fine. There's so many more. Then let's say for our flexer, we just want to create like a, let's just make it like a square, right? So give the height of 40 pixels. We'll also give it the width of 40 pixels, right? Just to be, make it really ugly, we just give a background color and a border. Yeah, border. How does that look? Yeah, really, really ugly. Yeah, so let's inspect this. Okay, so you can see I gave these elements 40 pixels height and width, but it's 42 pixels. Who can tell me why, please? Does anybody have an answer?
So that should be the border.
Yeah, why? Why I've defined the height and width of 40 pixels, but I'm getting 42 pixels.
Yeah, so it definitely will have a border. So except we put border none, then to remove.
But I want the border there. I want a black border.
Yeah, so that was adding up to the.
Yeah, I know that's what's adding. The reason why it's adding is what I'm asking for.
Oh, so definitely it wants to. How do I say it now? It wants to demarcate each box. So that's the reason for the border.
Okay, close. Well, not really close. But the issue is, the reason why it's adding that is because there is a box. I didn't add border radius box sizing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I do that, I inspect. I just added it now to all the elements. So if I check in now, it says 40 by 40, even with border. You have to take note of that because you may be thinking, oh, I defined this, I defined that, and it's still looking weird. So you should, in fact, it's something you should define for like all your elements at the start, like these things here. Well, not the text align. The text align is kind of overkill, but elements come with margins and paddings that you necessarily wouldn't want to use. Like since you are designing your own custom site, like you don't want to use what you are given. So you might just want to get rid of them at the beginning so that it makes it easier. So you won't have to start thinking of what's causing this, what's causing that. It's not looking so right. So it's just one of those things you'll be fine. Okay, so I think the width, let us use the flex for this. So you can actually define width, since this is a flex grid, and the parent is display flex. If you want to define the width, you should actually use flex for it, and you can assign it either in pixels. I think you can also use rem. We should talk about rem, rem, and em later. They are also like they are used as units in the web, and you would see that a lot. So yeah, can define 40 pixel, 40%. Should be as well as 50%. Yeah. Well, it's weird because this grid is supposed to overflow, but you can see it's actually not getting the grill. This isn't 50%. If I give this flex, each of these flex containers in this mother container a width of 50%, that means it should occupy 50% of this width. But it's not doing that. And it's not doing that, yes, because it has a flex grow on it of 1. So if it has flex grow of 1 or flex shrink, yeah, for 1, I can just put that to 0. And yeah, it wouldn't shrink anymore. You get, so now it's 50% of this mother container every time, and it's now overflowing and causing a problem. You know, we can actually put this into one. So there are a bunch of things you can actually do to this for this flex. If I just done flex 1, I think, yeah, then it's going to find the perfect size to fit all my elements into the container. If I do flex 0, let's see what that does. I don't, yeah, just it's going to mess it all up. But then I can do this. I can do 0, 0, and then 40%. And this is just a shorthand like we've seen for padding, margin, that almost everything here has a shorthand. And this just means flex grow is 0. That means don't grow. Flex shrink is 0, meaning don't shrink. And always occupy 40%. This is like defining like a max width and a min width. If I do that, it starts to overflow again, since it's not going to grow or shrink, and it's all 40%. And to fix that, there is another property called flex wrap, right? And I can just give it a wrap. And what this will do is it's going to check if it has gotten to the end. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, so I put it on the wrong place because it's supposed to check for the children. They will add flex wrap to the mother, then the children are going to wrap around it. So it says it doesn't have a horizontal scroll bar anymore, and now it's 40% from this mother. Each of these elements are 40%. To make it a bit better, we can actually justify content. Okay, let's look at some of the properties. We have space around. What this space around does is that it puts equal spaces to the left and the right of the container. Can you see? So now that it's space around, there's space on the left, space on the right, both equal spaces. The space between. For space between, yeah, it's just basically going to space. Sorry, hold on. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm recording this session. I think it is, yeah, recording to start, yeah. So, yeah, for space between, it's just going to give like space between each element. Which other options do we have? The space evenly, like stretch. Yeah. Since for stretch, actually, I don't think you would see it because each of these are the same width and height. So what stretch does is that it makes all of them the same width and height. So if you have one that is less in width, it's going to stretch that out for you. But for this guy, I think we should just use space between. Yeah. Now we should increase this guy. Let's just use 47. Yeah. I actually think maybe 3 boxes would be better. Yeah, 3 boxes would be better. Flex. Let's see. Let's we talked about this last week, and it's called a pseudo child, a bit pseudo class, and you can use it to get things that you wouldn't normally with normal CSS, like just classes or IDs. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting every flexor element that is not the last child. And this is the last child right here. I think this should be the last child. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see who the last child is. I just want to give them a bottom margin, like 10 pixels. Space them really well. So this is the last child over here. Oh yes, and since the property is space between, for this last row, you can see the element isn't on this guy here. It's over here. It's leaving the space right in between them, which is actually a problem. Okay, we'll get back to that issue. I just want to, I think we need to make this a bit bigger. Make it so, Oh, still kind of. Oh, there's so many elements. Oh, so, yeah, now that we have some kind of grid looking thing, I think the next thing we need to do is to start styling. I think the next thing we need to do is start styling start styling each box. Now, to do that, I think we'll use, since this is mostly a grid class, we're going to use CSS grids to style this box. So usually in a box like this, you have an image. I'll see. I don't know how we go like content. Inside the content, you have like someone. So it's just H6. Okay, that's fine. I think we need to find an image first so that I can use that to describe it. I really hate this brown. Just transparent. So how is it? So any image will do actually. Let's see, image. Option. Oh. So, okay, so let us transparent. I've downloaded our image, right? I think so. House. It's fine. So it should be assets. Images. And we have like a P. So let's see how that looks like. Whoa, looks crazy bad. Okay, so first thing we need to do to make this easy, I'm just going to define the same styles for all my flexors, right? But a lot of times you actually don't do that, and I'm going to give most of them like classes. So the first thing I want to actually do is to display its flex. That's each individual box. I want it to be flex. And then I want to align I want to make my flex direction. Hold on, I think, yeah. So what this does is, so your flex is, I think is rows by default. And then I want to change it to column. Oh. I'm not really sure. I think I may have mixed that up, but we'll see as we go along. We'll definitely see if that is correct. So let's do this class. Flex image. Let's call it. Description. Right. So for this image, we want to target the child. This is just targeting the child. So I'm saying every image tag inside this guy. I think I can also do this. And this just means every image child that is, I think, a first child. But this is fine. There's just one image in it. And I want objects fit it. So I give it a max height. So okay, that didn't work. Oh, sorry. Let me make it contain instead because it seems so big. Oh, so I should fix that. Fix it right off. Hold on. Yeah, I have to fix that though. But overflow hidden is a property that tells, that says, okay, if there's any content that is above your height, then hide that content. And I think this did not work because I did not give this guy height actually. I didn't give him a height. Let me give him, this guy has, this height is actually too small. Let me give him a height of 400. And let's give this guy 250 out of this. See, yeah, that looks better. Also, yeah, so that was it. I didn't, Yeah, so as you can see, it's looking all right. Let me just show you what I was talking about. If I say I want my flex direction to be row, this is how it's going to look. So row just arranges it per row, and it's defaults to row actually. So it defaults to this way. It's in rows instead of it being in columns. Let me just show you. So this guy is the overall flex guy for this container, and I'm saying I want row. So this guy is one row, sorry, one column, and then this is another column. And it just makes it a lot easier to style actually. Where's that guy? So, and then say for this description. I usually like giving everybody a class, but it's going to take time. So I'm just using children to define it. Page 16. But I actually don't want it so. I don't want it so heavy, so let's just put it at 500. Let's give it a margin bottom. Give the margin bottom of 8 pixels. And yeah, this description was looking, yeah. Let's just give that a padding. The padding of just 600 pixels. So yeah, I like using multiples of 8. I don't know, one design guy put it in my head for some reason. So there are a lot of 8s, 24, 16s. Yeah, it's too light. It's too much. It's looking better. Ish is already 12:30. This thing. Okay. Let's just give this a border radius. So make it look a bit better. You can see this is how the border looks without the border radius. Like all the borders are sharp. Then if I give it a border radius of like 20 pixels, then it starts having this. And you can see there's an overflow of this because the picture inside doesn't have a border radius. So two ways, you can either give the div of this picture a border radius since it already has like an overflow on it. Or better still, I can just give this guy a hidden overflow and I'll just hide that straight away for me. Yeah, I think we're going to stop there now for today because I have another engagement and yeah, I'm kind of running late. So I'll just, when we come back, we'll continue this, and then we'll do this same grid or something similar. I think maybe we'll just, after this, we'll style this, we'll do like a CSS picture grid. So you guys help me look for pictures to bring for the next class if I'm the one, so that we can add the pictures to this for the CSS grid and try to do the assignment from last week. If you feel like it's a bit still too much, I think maybe you can actually pull this code from Git and then continue working on the styles on your own, like from what is currently here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions like concerning this class, anything on box model or on Flexbox or anything?
I don't have any question for now. I will go over the stuffs again on Git and the practice. Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. You guys should also look at the link I sent. Internet in his hand. I'll add it to the group. All right, guys. I think you should have it. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
All right, thank you.